What's happening, friends of the internet? We are back with another video.
YouTubes!
Guys, and we're just, we just felt led to encourage you in this fine season.
Yes, because who don't need some encouragement? We all need it.
We all need encouragement.
Absolutely.
And we are only encouraging out of the overflow of what we have been encouraged in.
Yes.
And really, it's just finding that joy, finding peace, finding contentment when life just is handing you some fruit you don't like.
Or you feel like God's not answering the prayers the way you want him to answer it.
Exactly. I think a lot of our dissatisfaction is because of our expectations of how things should be, or where you should be in life, or what should be happening. And if you really dig deep down inside and you think, what are the expectations of myself? What do I expect for my life at this time? And what happens? Your mind starts rotating on those things, the expectations that are not met yet, what you're lacking, what you don't see in your life. And before you know it, you're spending your whole day like, I don't got this, I don't got that, Lord, and you'll never get me this.
Walking down Funky Town. Like, you're mad about it because you're like, well, God, I've been praying for you. I've been praying to you about this for 6 weeks. 5 weeks, and yet I don't see anything that looks like
hours.
it. 24 hours. 2 minutes. And yet I don't have answers. Like, we want that instant, right away, like, almost like we think like God's like a little, like one of those, those little toys that's got the claw and you could just grab the thing you want. He's like, yeah, give me that right now. That's what God is like.
Let me pick, or it's like one of those books you read as a kid with all the different endings.
Oh,
You're like,
you could choose.
I don't like that ending, God. I'm gonna go back, and then we're gonna do this again. Okay, you hear me?
Like in a sense, you're the one that's directing God, and you're the one that's like sovereign over all, and you're the one that know the end from the beginning. And it just reminds me like Job, and when he asked those questions, like, do you command the winds? Do you feed the birds? Like who are you the ones that you the one that separate the day from the night? Tell me how you did that. Like we forget that we're not in control. And I think that's part of the finding the joy. Like, we get so tied on having these things and having these goals and having these aspirations met when we feel that they should be met. When truth be told, like if they get met when we always want them to be met, it may not be the right time. We may not be really mature enough.
Think about if you think we have a toddler. If we just hand him everything he cries about at all times, is he really growing? Is he
maturing?
Stretched? Is he learning? Is he learning?
No.
And as a
he's
parent,
actually becoming spoiled. He's becoming spoiled.
That's
a different conversation.
He thinks I'm soft.
But it's true though. How do we grow if we aren't stretched?
Yeah.
And I feel like in these moments when we don't get what we want, it's a moment for us to grow inside and say, can I still have joy and know that God's still in control? Know that he's still sovereign. Know that he still has my best interest. Even though I may be sad, I may be frustrated, I may be hurt, but still coming back to that underlying truth that God has my best interest in mind, and he knows what I need exactly when I need it.
Exactly. Having that relationship with Christ, like sometimes we can be like drive-by Christians,
Pull up on the scene.
Pull up like, did you give me my job, Lord? Did
that
you
beat
give me my money, Lord? Did you give me... Oh, wow, that was nice. I want in this life of sin is...
You just rapping yourself?
That was pretty fresh. I kind of stole it from Jay-Z, but it was real fresh.
We'll steal it all from Jay-Z. That dude got talent.
Drive-by Christianity, where we only come to him when we want something. We only dabble in it when it's the blessings are flowing and it's an overflow. And just like in life, it's just our contentment and our peace and our joy actually is rooted in Jesus. If you've never given Jesus a try, promise you, like on these days, and not say it's like I do not have this perfect in any way, but when I feel like my heart is trying to find something that's going to satisfy, you know, that's when I pause and I'm like, whoa, like, is my contentment, like Paul talks about, like, I'm content when I have little and when I have a lot. Like, are you that person in all seasons that when I show up to your house, I know I'm going to get a pretty, like, consistent character or personality, like, not even personality, but character, mood.
Yeah, mood.
Or is it up and down?
Why you always in a mood?
Oh.
Running around acting real cool.
Yeah.
Whoa, David's ready to sing it. Hey, you don't know that song. Too young.
If you feel right now like you're the only person who has unanswered prayers.
Wrong.
If you
got a
go
bunch.
back to our video.
We got a bunch.
About not finding a house in this season. That can feel so devastating to your plan. Ego, all the things. But you have to go, okay, but if God says, I will give you abundantly more, exceedingly more than you hope and you dream of, then when he says not yet, it's probably because he's getting it prepared. He's getting that thing prepared. And when you really boil it down, you're like, oh, I do want to wait on you, Lord, because, I mean, Fedrick and I were talking earlier how one house we wanted back in the day before we had our house 2 years ago that we bought.
We thought it was a house.
We were like, this is a house. We're like doing prayer walks. We're showing up.
Like, we brought out the Earls, or in the islands they say the Earls.
The Earls.
The Earl. Get the Earl.
Get the Earl.
Or the oils.
I got my Earl, and I showed up.
Like, we was borderline creepy almost. We was almost borderline creepy because we was we were doing some circling that thing like the walls of Jericho.
Well, I remember when like a realtor showed up once to show, and I felt like, no, this is mine. I said, do you mind if I just join y'all in there and like just come on in? And she goes,
like, the devil is a liar.
She literally was like, no, I can't let you in here. Thank you, though.
Yeah, she got to.
And I was like, but do you know this is my house? Okay.
Yeah, she didn't let us in there.
All I know is, praise God, we didn't get that because we got something way better.
And that wasn't the house. It wasn't in the location. We got a better location, a better house, a better square footage, a better return on our investment. And that's just waiting on God, what God had for us. He didn't have that house, even though we wanted that house. That wasn't it.
Exactly.
And like we say, like, can you find joy in those situations when you don't get what you want?
Or you just so devastated and so rocked, and now you're going to have the worst year of your life because, you know, I don't get anything I want, I didn't get that bag I wanted, and I just don't get my job, and like,
you're going to be walking around with your head down, acting like you defeated, and you're forgetting whose you are and that your dad owns, like, God owns it all, and you serve him, and he doesn't run out of resources, he doesn't run out of money to give you, or opportunities or open doors to provide for you. Like, he doesn't run out of any of that stuff. But we can walk around in disappointment and forget the sovereignness of God and how powerful he is, and that all things work out to good for those who believe him. Like, you just believe in that and just hold on to those, like, truths.
Hold on to them.
Just hold on to it. You know what they are. You
just hold on to it.
For dear life.
If you are in the moment, you're just like, I can't turn this around. Just spend time with the Lord. Just be really honest. Like, God can handle your honesty and your frustration and your disappointments. He's not afraid of that. He knows you're thinking about it anyways.
Yeah, like, tell him, let it out. It's good to let that out too. Like, be raw and open and honest with God. And if you gotta scream it out. Go, like, not in front of people. Like, go find your little place. You know what I'm saying?
You can be crazy like that too.
Let it out.
Whatever you need to do.
Let it out. Another way, else I would find joy in those moments when I feel like that's starting to come on and I'm feeling depressed or I feel frustrated about a situation. Worship. For me, worship like you never have, and just lay it all out. They say prostrate before the Lord. Just lay it all out.
What you're doing when I open the door?
Yes. Prostrate before the Lord. I don't know if that's the right word, but I feel like that's a part of the body. But
is this prostrate?
Prostrate might be a part of the body, but I think that's the word.
I actually did that this morning. Fedrick went to take Zane to school, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting my worship on because I'm telling you,
So powerful.
when your mind is connected to the source and you have your eyes fixed on the Lord and you put him higher than your circumstances,
Yeah.
I promise you the enemy can't attack you there.
No.
And so to give praise and to bring glory and honor and remind yourself, like, God's goodness is not good because something's not happening the way we want it. And so sometimes we end up turning away when in reality it's a moment for a father, like we were saying, to give us his children a way to grow and mature and stretch. And it's actually a great thing. It don't feel great.
Don't feel
But
good.
it actually
Stretching don't feel good.
Stretching don't feel
But
good.
it does.
But
It's so good for the body.
he only stretches the ones that he's in relationship with, who he truly is in connection with, and he's not going to leave you right where you're at. And so it just does not feel good. I promise you, this season of the house thing does not feel good. And I look back at other seasons where I'm just like, God, I'm not married. Like, I'm 30 years old. Why am I not married? Or still to this day, there's so many dreams in my heart about...
Or jobs. I'm not in the right job.
Yeah.
I'm not at the career level I want to be.
Exactly. I think career thing is...
Or even kids.
Kids thing. I mean, there's just so many tangible outward expressions of what we feel is God's goodness. Sometimes we don't realize that the internal work is part of God's goodness. We just want everybody to see, like, I got my kid, I got my husband, I got my house, I got my career.
You want them trophies.
Pop, pop, pop.
You want them trophies.
But what if we celebrate each other and what God's doing internally? Wow, friend, like, I haven't seen you angry in 7 months.
Girl, you man, you must have the Holy
amazing.
Spirit, because the Lord did a work in you, because you'd have blown up a long time. But look at you looking mature now. You ain't arguing like you arguing. Look at you turning the other cheek. Look at you, like, encouraging somebody in something that you really want desperately, or the thing you praying for. Like, that's like, I love that what you said. Like, it's the intangible, the work that the Lord's doing inside of you in those moments is so pivotal, because he's actually preparing you. The work he's doing in you is preparing you for when he does give you that thing, that answered prayer, because you'll be ready for it. You'll have the character to sustain it. You know, it won't take you by surprise at that point, and you're just going to thrive even more and flourish even more and move even further ahead because you mature.
It's so true. We don't celebrate enough
spiritually
the things like you didn't go off on your boss today. Huh? You know, you got in the gym today.
Hey, you ain't flipped the bird at the person that cut you off on the street when you're driving.
You know,
in your fresh ride.
So, wow, okay. You know, like, you are actually showing up, and sometimes people think, like, joy is fake. Oh, well, you're being fake right now because I know what's really going on in your life.
Like,
and
you can't be happy. Like, you still can't find happiness even though you might be going through some crazy stuff. And I feel like that's where the joy of the Lord really kicks in, because that's your strength, right? The joy of the Lord is your strength. Like, you find the joy comes from you wanted to go even deeper with God and truly believing what he tells you and the truths that he's speaking over you and what the word says that is true. Like, you hold on to that stuff and, like, he's never going to leave me and forsake me. Like, I can have joy and know that he's gonna, where I go, he's there. He's watching over me. He's taking care of me. And so that's the joy right there.
It is. It's like reminding yourself. I think about the actor Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
You know, he was good. We bring him up a lot, but you just think about his life. He was dealing with cancer, and nobody knew it. And he was showing up and serving and giving, and you watch his interviews, and you're just like, man, if I was going through that, I wouldn't be on YouTube.
Man, I ain't trying to talk to nobody.
But I even sometimes think about that. I'm like, do we show up and we do what God's asking of us, or are we only going to do it when life is
grand?
And so it says a lot about people. I've really done some inner things, thinking, like, am I led by emotion, or do I every day show up and just choose joy? And then also just thinking about, like, all of us, you know, if you are in a house with family or roommates or whatever, like, think about, I asked Fedrick the other day, I'm like, am I a great person to be around? You know, it's good to
Yeah,
check in with
that's
people
true.
because sometimes you'd be like, oh yeah, it's great. I'm in a great mood. It's all awesome. And then you ask somebody else and they'd be like, you kind of been real hard to be around lately.
Lately, and that's true.
Well,
And-
you've never really said that.
No. I've never said
But
that.
I myself know if I have a funky attitude, like anybody should, like if,
Yeah.
maybe you don't,
Situations
maybe you
do-
don't, I
Hey,
don't know.
Life throws curveball, life throws hard things at us, and it can rock us with a lot of stuff that life
Yeah.
throws at us because we're not prepared for it, and you have to deal with it and try to walk through it and grow from it. So, in all of it, you, like you said, you can choose joy, and you can
Yeah.
choose like the type of outlook you want to look on a situation, and choose a positive outlook or negative outlook. But
Yeah.
if you choose a negative outlook, you're not gonna find joy. If you choose a positive outlook, and like you try to hold true and grasp and
Yep.
just chase God even more in those situations and go deeper with Him, like you're gonna find that joy.
Yeah.
And if you're missing that joy right now and because of your current situation, I just encourage you just to go deeper with the Lord. Like worship more, like
Pray more.
pray more, have
Talk
some
to
more
God.
quiet times, like invite Him in your relationship,
Yeah.
like chase and pursue Him even more, and I guarantee like you're gonna start feeling a lot more joy in your life, and
Yeah.
that's from personal experience. Like you're gonna,
satisfaction.
it's unexplainable. I can't explain the why, but it's just gonna start to happen. Like once you go do
That's
those
so
things.
good.
So,
I love that. I could just talk and talk and talk, but we won't.
but anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys are encouraged. Hope you guys are feeling that joy.
Feeling that joy, and if you are in a tough, troubling time, keep going. Don't give up. Like your blessing is around the corner.
It is. It truly
So,
is.
but it really is. Like, don't forget what God has already done in your life. Don't forget the good things that are
Yeah.
happening in your life. Go ahead, list them all down. List top 10 things you're grateful
Yeah.
for right now, and that will shoot adrenaline into your soul.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, we love y'all,
Love
and thanks
y'all.
for joining us.
See y'all next time. Y'all subscribe now. Bye.
Bye.